I only came over here because of how fabulous you look.
Both of you.
You're giving.
Yeah, you are.
Yes. What is the question?
More of both entertainment and sports today.
Keep God first.
Watch me on entertainment and sports today.
Stay tuned for entertainment and sports today.
Oh, let's all start eating better.
A big winner in the challenge.
Watch me on Entertainment Today. Thank you, Amanda.
We want this to be fun. We want this is a big night of fun. It's a great evening for people to see.
So we're here now at the Natural Factors booth, and I'm going to be speaking with Dr. Gaetano Morello. I call him Dr. G for short. It's a lot easier, and I understand that a lot of people call him Dr. G for the same reason. Dr. G is so incredible. He's so knowledgeable about so many products, especially the products here at Natural Factors. We've been interviewing him now for years. I'm going to interview him again today because you will learn so much in this short interview that it's mind-blowing. So tell us about the latest products that you want to inform our audience about, which is great for health, looking younger, more beautiful, and on and on.
You know, it's always nice to be interviewed by Margie. You're so awesome. We have so much fun because we talk about how many topics we were talking about before.
Everything, everything.
You talked to me about some really interesting things that you pointed out. It was really that was pretty neat. A lot of things come to your mind, so it's I'm always interested in things that are different, unique. And so one of the things that a lot of people are talking about now is aging. That's for sure. And so.
Not that he has aged, because he hasn't. It's incredible. He looks the same as the first day I interviewed him years and years ago, which we're going to find out why. I'll make sure that I get that out of him.
That's so kind of you to say that. I don't know about that, but so think about the most important element in life. It's not food. It's not water, because we can go without food for a month. We can go without water for a month.
Really? We can go without water for a month?
We could do that. We could do that. But this is what we can't go without, and you're going to agree with me. We can't go without air, oxygen, right?
Oh, yeah. True.
Right? Now think about what happens when we lose oxygen. So the best example I can give is a stroke victim. A lack of blood flow to a particular area of the brain. What happens to that individual? They can become paralyzed. They can lose the ability to walk, to talk. They can even die.
Exactly.
So the question is, what is oxygen doing that renders it so critically important to life? What does it do? Well, I'm glad you asked the question. Okay, let's swallow it. We breathe it in, goes into our lungs, gets incorporated into our red blood cells. I think most of us know that. Inside the red blood cells is a protein called hemoglobin. Inside the protein is a metal called iron. It binds to the iron, and then it travels. Do you know how many blood vessels you have in your body?
A lot.
60,000 miles worth.
60,000 miles.
Repeat that one more time. 60,000 miles. The majority of our circulation is the microcirculation. So now, those red blood cells go into that circulatory path. They hit the brain. What does it do when it goes inside one of your nerve cells in the brain? When we don't get that oxygen in there, we can become paralyzed. What does it do? It does one thing. It goes inside the cell and then goes to one spot. They're called the mitochondria. The mitochondria are the energy-producing factors that we remember in high school. They showed us a cell with 2 little mitochondria in it. And so all oxygen does goes inside the mitochondria to produce your body's electricity energy, which we call ATP. You probably heard of that, adenosine triphosphate. That's all oxygen does. Oxygen.
Oh, that's all.
That's all it does. Mitochondria are like hydrodams. The oxygen is the water. The water falls down the hydrodam, turns the turbines, and produces the electricity that lights up our cities. That's what the mitochondria are doing in the body. They are creating the electricity that's how everything functions. Now think about this. If every cell type in your body is a factory producing something, what do those factories need in order to produce what they need to produce? Energy. So my muscle, they're factories that produce extension and contraction. That's all they do. And so in order for that extension and contraction to happen, what do I need? I need electricity. I need energy. The mitochondria do that. So when I go to the gym, I do a dumbbell curl, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On the 10th one, I drop it. Why? Because my muscle has lost all its electricity, its ATP. So then I go, I huff and puff for about 2 minutes, and then I regain that electricity. As we get older, we may lose the ability to regain that electricity.
All together?
My skin cells, what do? They replicate themselves. They make themselves over again every 45 to 60 days. My red blood cells are remade every 90 days. What do you require in order for that production to happen, that regeneration? You need building blocks and energy. As you lose energy, the ability to replicate those cells diminishes. Each one of your cells, for example, skin cells, they could have 300 to 500 to 1,000 mitochondria. As a matter of fact, the female oocyte has over 100,000 mitochondria. 25% of your cell volume is mitochondria. As we get older, we start losing these mitochondria. And as we lose the mitochondria, the ability to replicate diminishes. The ability for us to have energy diminishes. That's why when you're like 10 years old, you have like those ever-ready batteries moving around. But as you get older, you get more and more fatigued. Why? Because you're losing the ability to produce that energy. There's less mitochondria, and their ability to produce energy diminishes. And not only does it diminish in replication, it diminishes in the functionality of hormones, neurotransmitters, muscles, collagen, bone structure. Everything diminishes as we start losing these mitochondria. As these mitochondria become less efficient in producing electricity.
Which happens to everybody as they age?
It happens to everybody as their age. Now here's an interesting factor, okay? So this is very interesting. The mitochondria are only inherited from our mothers, not our fathers.
Really?
Mitochondria only inherited from, and they have their own DNA, it's circular. So they have mitochondrial DNA, only inherited from, and the microbiome, which you know how important it is, guess what? That's inherited from our mothers, not our fathers.
Interesting.
So the two most important components of life, because we can't live without these, remember? Stroke victims are inherited from our mothers, not our fathers. I think that's one of the most interesting facts that you can come out of this. Now, do you know how much electricity I produce a day? I weigh about 186 pounds. I produce about 186 pounds of electricity every single day. That's how much power we need to function. Now imagine if I produced 100 pounds. I would be producing the energy that I need to function normally. So what we need to do is, can we improve the functionality of these organelles we call mitochondria, the only organelles that we know have everything to do with aging? Because we're all into aging, right? We all want to look young, don't we? Exactly. So sometimes people go, I hate getting old. I go, don't complain about getting old. Some people never get old. You're lucky that you're getting old. But can we do something to prevent? Now, one of the things I want you to do, Margie, when you have time, is go look up identical twins, smoker versus non-smoker. You will see 10 years of difference.
That makes sense.
So are the things that we put inside our bodies, will they impact the way the mitochondria function? Yes. What creates mitochondrial deficits? One of the things that creates it is free radicals. And that's a big play. So I don't know if you want me to explain how that happens.
Yes, sure. We want that explanation, yeah.
Okay, so here
I think the better you understand something, the easier it is for you to stick with a program, because you know what you're doing to your system or what you're not doing.
So I use two systems to upregulate or to improve mitochondria. One of them is called upregulation, which is if I don't eat for like 16 hours, I might feel a little dizzy and lack of energy, because the mitochondria not only need oxygen, they also need macro and micronutrients. So one of the things I recommend every patient that I've ever seen is 25 grams of protein in the morning. That can change the way you feel right away. Really? Within 3 to 7 days, if you do 25 to 30 grams of protein in the morning, you will feel different within 3 to 7 days. Do this and let me know in the next week how you feel.
That's great to know, because a lot of people don't get nearly that much. They'll have cereal, which has very little protein.
Especially in the morning. That's when it occurs in the morning. Now, my other one is really interesting. It's called redox. Stands for reduction.
What's it called?
Redox. Reduction oxidation. So think about this. Take an apple and slice it in half. Right? What happens to the apple? It browns. Now, how do you stop an apple from browning? Squeeze lemon juice on it. What does the lemon juice? Lemon juice is an antioxidant. It's an anti-rust agent. What are you doing? You're actually giving electrons. All antioxidants are electron donors. They give electrons. Every antioxidant on the planet is an electron donor. So that's why the apple is not going brown. It's not rusting. Okay, so let's take that into the mitochondria. So I've created my own theory here, so you can't find this in books. So this is my theory, okay? Even though it's not accurate, but it's my theory, because that way you can understand what I'm talking about. So here is the mitochondria. The mitochondria in Dr. G's theory is it can never rust. If it rusts, it dies. If it dies, we die. Can you follow that? Okay. So how does the
So you have to prevent it from rusting.
That's my theory. So how does the mitochondria not rust? Because it has two really powerful antioxidants. One is called glutathione, and the other one is called SOD, which stands for superoxide dismutase. But forget about remembering those names. Remember, you told me to make things simple.
Yes.
Let's pretend that each mitochondria has 100 lemons. That's why it doesn't rust. So a cell that has 1,000 mitochondria has 100,000 lemons. That's why it doesn't rust. Now imagine if stress, because what stress does, it opens the gut barrier, okay? Because we know that. Why does it do that? Because blood, when you're stressed, blood goes to the peripheral tissues. When the zebra has to run away from the lion, what does the zebra have to do? It's got to run. What does it need? It needs blood in its limbs so it can run faster. And where's the blood come from? It comes from the core. And when you lose that, the doors open and things start going inside your blood. Now, when they go inside your blood, or free radicals from the environment, imagine if they go and they start attacking those lemons in the mitochondria. Instead of having 100 lemons, now you only have 50. But you need 100 for it not to rust. And what did I say? It cannot rust under any circumstances. So how is it going to adjust so it doesn't rust? It reduces the uptake of oxygen by 50% and produces 50% of only the energy. You've just lost 50% of your energy capacity. So what is that going to do? It's going to decrease the functionality of every single cell in your body. So when it decreases the functionality, is that going to increase disease? Is that going to increase the fact that you have rusty joints? Is that going to increase the fact that you can't think normally?
Of course, yes. That makes so much sense. The way you're explaining it. Because people are just thinking that it happens because they get old. Not necessarily. That's happening because
you're losing your mitochondria, the ability of them to produce it. And isn't it interesting that I think everybody in the audience, yourself, he's filming and he knows this too, that when you're stressed, we blame everything on stress. So now there's a reason why we do that. And so I'll give you my stress analogy. My stress analogy is like a house. The house, inside your house is your body. The leather sofa is your skin. The hinges on the doors are your joints. The TV set's your brain, as an example. The doors and the windows are the one cell lining. What separates everything in your gut from entering your bloodstream is one cell. The doors and the windows are that one cell barrier, okay? Outside of the house is your microbiome, the trees, the birds, and the bees. That's what's inside your gut. Now imagine when somebody knocks on your door, you go look and you say, yeah, okay, you can come in. When the weather's nice, you might open the window to get air in. You control it. What if the windows and doors are open all year round and you've got rain and stuff coming inside? What's going to happen to inside your house? It's going to be a mess. And that's what stress does inside the body. It destroys things. And the big place that it first hits is those mitochondria. And so what can we do to improve mitochondrial functionality? And that's why we've developed, some products to help and support the mitochondria.
Well, tell us about them because now you know you have to. It's not just a question of should you have to.
So one of the things you want to do is you want to reduce, your stress response. And you can do that. That's easier said than done, obviously, right? But there are things like, there's a product called PharmaGABA that I highly recommend, and it's one of my hit products that can reduce the stress or the interpretation of stress, so it calms you down. Things like ashwagandha that everybody has heard about a million times, that can also reduce cortisol levels, which reduces your stress response. And then supporting the body with mitochondrial products like these, so these products are the ones that I give to my patients with fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, myalgic encephalomyelitis, and long COVID, where they have mitochondrial dysfunction. And now we're learning that mitochondrial dysfunction is associated with almost every condition that we can think of. Because it makes sense. If the energy isn't there, you can't produce. And so those are the kinds of things that I think, these are the kinds of supplements that I think are beneficial for us. And there's so much stuff on the market, like, it drives me crazy. My poor patients get all confused.
It is very confusing.
It really is, and I feel, so I have physicians that call me, do you recommend this? So everybody needs to do their research on the right types of products. And I'm glad you come here because I know they, at this company, do a lot of research, and they put a lot of effort into research, and they put a lot of effort into putting the right formulations together, and that the formulations are clean formulations for the public. Because, I think it's a big responsibility when you recommend something to an individual. That's the human body. This is a very important piece of hardware that we own.
Taking the wrong thing, and you go through all that trouble and expense, and you're taking the wrong thing, it's not going to do you any good.
It's not going to do you any good. And so
Sometimes it does you harm.
it does do you harm. And so one of the things that's really, I'm always curious as to what's happened to our planet. And so when you look at, and this is a documented data, when you look at from 1945 to 2022, when we look at mortality rates, these are, what are people dying of? Deaths from infectious diseases have plummeted. People used to die of infectious diseases in 1945. Now, very few. Why? Because of hygiene and because of antibiotics. It's changed that. But chronic diseases have gone in the opposite direction.
Really?
Just elevate. Right now, there is an 80% increase in cancer rates, people 50 years and under. What has happened? What happened in 1945 till now? What happened was between 1945 and 1950, there was the introduction of over 50,000 chemicals in the foods we consume. We have been poisoning our bodies for 70 years.
And then we wonder why.
So we need to do things. So it's not only about supplementation, it's about watching what we put into our bodies. It's trying to eat whole foods. It's trying to drink the right type of water. It's trying to put, this is the only body we have. We need to take care of it. We need to watch what we put into our bodies, because that's going to make a difference long term. So it's not only one thing that you do, it's a multitude of things that you do. And sometimes we just, we get carried away. And it's not the thing that you do, once or twice. If you have, you have a fun time one day, it's okay. It's what you do consistently that's the key. So I think there are a lot of things in, shows like this. There's a lot of good stuff out here that you look for that are really, really important in creating that healthy, and this is, sometimes you, oh, it's so expensive. I go, man, we spend so much money on our cars. Don't we want to spend money on our own bodies? And it's so true, because this is the only vessel we have, and we got to take care of it. And if you do take care of it, it'll last you a long time. And there's a lot of things that can be prevented, and we've shown that prevention is possible. You're not going to eliminate everything, but if you can eliminate a lot of these things that are causative, and I think we know that now, right? For example, there was a really fascinating study. I know, I'm throwing all these things at you.
No, please do.
Yeah, so there was a study with 19,000 people, and they found that those people that consumed 18 grams of mushrooms a day, 18 grams, it's about 3 mushrooms a day, had a 46% reduction in cancer rates.
Really?
I go, you gotta be kidding me.
Just 3 mushrooms a day.
Isn't that incredible? Like, that's hard to believe. So I looked at that study, I don't know how many times to show you. I go, can you read this study to make sure I got it right? Yeah, you got it right. That's incredible. That's just diet.
That's incredible.
So incredible. Why wouldn't everybody do that? Everybody should be doing that.
Because people don't know.
So we need to put education on, not about selling things, just about education. And there's a great network that you should look into. It's Illumi.health, ILLUMI.health. And I have a lot of videos on there. A lot of physicians have videos on there. And there's nothing being sold on that network. There's no marketing, no advertising of any product whatsoever, just talking about health and ingredients, and that's it.
That's great.
So I think that's something that we've all done, and we do it free. We don't get paid for this because we need information out there, like you just mentioned. Information is really valuable and important. It's people don't know.
So what is it? ILLUMI.
ILLUMI.health. And you can go on there. Nothing's being sold. You don't have to buy anything. It's free. It's like a Wikipedia for videos about information for the public.
Right, because a lot of people think they can just Google, but if you don't know what to Google, how are you really going to learn? Like, I would have had no idea to Google mitochondria. I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have Googled mushrooms, a simple thing like that. And who knew that 3 mushrooms can make a difference in your whole life?
The beta glucans, because they're immune stimulating, right? So they support your immune system. And what happens if you don't have enough energy to produce immune cells? Well, then they don't work as well. So it's so important to see all these different things that are important for your body. And did you know that your body is always remaking itself? Like everything.
So a lot of people think, oh, I can keep drinking or smoking or eating bad because my body remakes itself. However, you've got to put the right ingredients in there. However, you need energy to create those new cells, and your body does want to clean itself up. And we always talk about detoxification. I have 5 videos on it. The detoxification can be dangerous if not done properly. So you got to do it properly. You got to know what you're doing
because there's a lot of toxins in the body. So you got to know how to get them out, and not because sometimes, for example, there was a really interesting study, 2003. I don't know how I remember those, but I remember it because it was, one of those things that you go, wow. One of those things that connects dots. So what they did was they put people on a weight loss program and they measured 60 parameters, all sorts of, and what I'm talking about is blood levels of certain chemicals, blood levels of certain like red blood cells, white blood cells, thyroid function. And so what they found was as these individuals were losing weight, their organochlorine levels were rising in their bloodstream. This is the most common form of pesticide. Where was it coming from? Why was it rising? Because it was being released from the fat. And that release of those chemicals, those pesticides, was having an impact on their T3 levels, which is your most active thyroid hormone, bringing it down so their metabolism of these patients decreased significantly. Why? Because they weren't able to bind those chemicals that were coming out of the body.
Well, a lot of people might be having those problems now with the weight loss shot.
Exactly. So you see what could be happening? And if you look at, and GLP-1 has a lot of really interesting benefits, but at the same time, some people that are taking it, they don't look that healthy anymore, do they? So
not at all, not even close. And this could be the reason.
Could this be one of the reasons where these chemicals are being released and we're not binding them to get them out of the body? And one of the things that I think is really not understood well is what role does the microbiome, the bacteria that play in detoxification? Does it play a role? So I always try to make analogies, right? When I got to think of something. So my thought was, hey, how is sewage disposed? Sewage goes to the sewage treatment plant, and what do? They feed it to bacteria, and bacteria change it to something that's disposable. So bacteria can play a role in detoxification. As a matter of fact, there's some studies that have shown that certain microorganisms in the gut can bind and remove heavy metals out of the body. Isn't that interesting? So again, the microbiome plays a big, big role in everything that we do.
So that's probably why a lot of people, when they take antibiotics, they can actually mess up their microbiome because they're killing the bad bacteria and the good bacteria.
That's right. So they're killing bad and good, and that's problematic as well. So there was a really interesting study done in, it's called the Burkina Faso study. They took children in Burkina Faso, an area in Africa, and they looked at children living in Western Europe. And what they did was they measured their microbiomes. They measured how many good bacteria, how many bad bacteria, and the levels of short-chain fatty acids. Fatty acids, short-chain fatty acids are going to be a big thing in the future, especially butyric acid. You watch. So what they found was the Burkina Faso kids had far superior microbiomes. They had more beneficial bacteria, very few pathogenic bacteria, and high levels of short-chain fatty acids. The children in Western Europe had a lot of pathogenic bacteria, less good bacteria, and very low levels of short-chain fatty acids. What was the difference? The children in Burkina Faso were consuming a lot of tubers, rooted vegetables. They feed the microbiome. Children in Western Europe were consuming refined carbohydrates. They were getting absorbed in the upper gastric tract, never feeding the microbiome. So when you eat, you're feeding two things, your physiology and your microbiome. And where was the microbiome inherited from? Our mothers, not our fathers. And where was the mitochondria inherited from? Our mothers, not our fathers. And what we're learning is that these two entities communicate with each other. Isn't that interesting? So there's so much stuff out there coming out. So I'm trying to give you some real connections and some of the things that we really need to do to really improve our health.
Help our audience to know, okay, because it is difficult to get the right kind of food on a regular basis, because even though we know it's the right thing to do, so many of us are so busy with life, busy with kids, busy with work. Is there any product that can help them out in spite of what they're doing? Like if they kept doing the same thing, but they just threw in a product or two, if that could help them.
Yeah, I think taking the mitochondrial function product really, really helps people. This is a really good formula. So yeah, well, this one's the capsule, and this one's the powder. Some people don't like taking capsules; they can just take the powder. They just mix it with water. And then I'm always recommending a multivitamin. So these ones are, these are organic multivitamins, and so I think a one a day is a great thing to do. And, yeah, one of these. So what is it? You're supplementing. You're not substituting for food. You're supplementing, because do you think that the foods grown today are the same as the foods that were growing 100 years ago? I don't think so. Things have changed, right? So if you can supplement the diet, that's pretty important. So supplementing with a multivitamin, I think, is something that everybody should be on. I've been doing it for 35 years, taking a multivitamin.
Now, what if someone just took two products? So they have this,
The mitochondria,
capsule
yeah.
or powder,
Yeah.
and then one of the vitamins.
One of the multivitamins, yeah.
Right.
And
That's all they do.
that would be huge. And then what I also like to recommend, is to take some kind of oil, some kind of fish oil of some sort, or even a vegan oil that has EPA and DHA. Why? Because your cell membranes, the outside, is made up of what? Fat. So you need to supplement with good fats. Remember the fat-free diet? What was that all about? Did that work or no? So you need fats.
No, like omega 3, 6, 9.
That's right. All the omegas. So the omegas are really, really important. So if you did 1, 2, and the omega, you're good. You're good. And then prebiotics, you eat a lot of fiber.
Okay.
Fiber is important.
And probiotics?
Yeah, probiotics to me is a red herring right now. So I think there's pros and cons. I think we got to analyze it. I think we're scratching the surface of these things. And so when you're scratching this, we're still learning about them. I think they could have, because probiotics, so people think that you take a probiotic, it doesn't stay in your gut. It does something and then it leaves. So can it do something negative? Because if you ask people about them, they're hit and miss. Not everybody has benefits from them, right? So what was the...
I do admit, I take them and I don't see any difference from when I don't take them and when I do.
Yeah, so there you go, right? So those are things that we need to take into consideration. And I know that we're getting better at analyzing data, and I think that's going to be important. I think when we're looking at, if we can ever change our microbiomes, is there a way of doing that?
Is there? Good question.
Well, here's the point. The point is that every microbiome in every individual is unique. How do you know what that microbiome is supposed to look like? See, that's an interesting piece of information that we're not aware of. So does adding something, changing something, does that, so, I don't know if you've heard of fecal transplants, you probably have.
Actually have not. Doesn't sound great.
So here it is. So C. difficile is one of the worst conditions you can get. It's a bacteria that will give you massive amounts of diarrhea. Okay, so what is diarrhea? Diarrhea is the inability, so when food goes into your mouth, goes into your duodenum, goes into your small intestine, that's a 5-6 hour process. What's left over that goes into the colon is a liquid soup. That liquid soup goes into the colon, and the colon's job is to pull water out of that soup to hydrate your body. Diarrhea is the inability of the colon to do that. So that's why when you have diarrhea, you're dehydrated, because it's the inability of the colon to pull water out. So when you get C. difficile, you get massive amounts of diarrhea. So I'll give you an example. 52-year-old patient comes into the hospital, develops C. difficile. They put her on IV antibiotics. That's the way you get rid of it. 1 month, it has not improved. She's in critical care. So they go into her husband's gut. They pull bacteria out of his gut, inoculate her with those bacteria. The C. difficile disappears in 2 days. That's called a fecal transplant. Now they do that at hospitals, and it's usually 100% successful.
Really?
So how does that work? The bacteria of the gut are more powerful than the most powerful antibiotics in the world. That's hard to believe.
Yeah.
But so that's something that's happening now. There's research going on with these areas in ways of trying to improve somebody's microbiome by doing those transplants. But again, when you do that, your microbiome is very unique. So if you add somebody else's, does it change things? So these are the things that we don't know. This is where science is important, right? To analyze. Because what we want to do is do no harm to the body. So these are really fascinating new areas of development. I think the microbiome is going to play a big, big role. And always remember that both the mitochondria, the most important organelle in your human body, and the microbiome came from the mother's body. It's from the mother, not the father.
Which is very interesting.
I think
I've always said women are very important.
isn't that interesting?
Oh, it is.
And when I share that with people, a lot of people don't know that. And when you share it, you're kidding me, really? How did Adam and Eve come then? It was without the woman, you can't have. You need the woman to give that mitochondria. So the woman came first.
And to give birth. So.
To give birth, yeah. So there's a really interesting connection there. But so I think doing these kinds of things will definitely help people, and they'll feel they should. Do the protein. You'll feel something in the first 3 to 7 days. do the mitochondria formulation, feel something in the first 3 to 7 days, and even the multivitamin, you'll feel something.
Now, how can they order this?
Well, I guess you get it at stores, or you can get it online.
So you can get it at naturalfactors.com?
Yeah, sure.
So naturalfactors.com, you can get it there, or you can get any of these there. Sorry? Oh, sorry. So you can get these at naturalfactors.com, or at least you can get a list of where you can find them, where you can actually order it online or go into a store. I'm sure a lot of reputable top health food stores carry it as well. So great for your mitochondria, and also the supplement with one of these vitamins, multivitamins that have it all in there. So you do that, you do the mitochondria, you take extra protein, especially in the morning, at least 25 milligrams, or grams. You're going to see a huge difference, and it's keeping it simple. Because when it gets too complicated and you have to take this and you have to take that and don't forget this and that, it's too crazy. Oh, but I almost forgot the omega 3, 6, and 9.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. Thank you so much. Oh my God. Oh, I learned so much.
It's always nice to
You learned so much from this guy. Okay. And thank you. I hope you learned as much as I did, and I hope you'll see a huge change between 3 to 7 days. I mean, that's pretty quick. So I'm here at the Barlean's booth, and I'm speaking with Josiah, and we've spoken to him year after year, and he's always telling us about this incredible product, which is not only fabulous for you, but it tastes incredibly delicious. I know, hard to believe. I've never found one that tastes like this. I mean, it's just so good. It's like a dessert.
Yes, thanks, Margie. It is like a dessert. I love these products. I love meeting with you guys every year and talking about them a little bit. They're fantastic. For anybody looking to be able to get an omega-3 fatty acid product, this is the way to go. For two main reasons, the flavor and the emulsification. The emulsification means that people are going to absorb more of it, and when I say these taste excellent, they really, really, truly taste excellent.
That's a fact. That is a fact. I mean, they taste so incredibly good.
There's a reason why these are seriously delicious. That's the brand name for this product line. They're seriously delicious because they actually are.
The only bad part is that they're so good that you want to eat more.
Yeah.
And there's really, I mean, you're just supposed to take a certain amount every day.
Yeah, a tablespoon a day of this is basically what you want to do for a serving. Tablespoon a day is going to get you kind of the doctor recommended amount that we usually see. There are some recommendations out there in terms of omega-3 fatty acids. We always encourage people, talk to your nutritionist, talk to your doctor when you're finding the exact right ratio for you. But the cool thing is we have a product line here that has plenty of flavors. We also have some new products that we're just launching this year that are fantastic, that expand upon the same technology that we're using here with the omega-3 products. We have a brand new multivitamin. This was a tropical flavor. It is fantastic. And at the show right now,
we haven't seen these before. This is what we've seen before.
Yeah, so this just came out this fall. And the brand new one that we have here is our liquid magnesium. So this is a magnesium citrate product. This is a bright orange flavor. It's almost like a creamsicle type of a flavor. It's very delicious. So this product is fantastic. We'll even just do this on camera really quick just to show what it looks like. It is truly beautiful in terms of the texture of it.
Really bright.
It has a bright citrus finish to it. It is fantastic.
Now, how many milligrams or grams does it have of magnesium?
Magnesium in this thing, you can see right on the front. Oh, actually, sorry, not on the front of this one. 10 milligrams of magnesium in this one.
And how much should you have a day of magnesium?
The serving size recommended in this is 1 tablespoon. Again, most of the time, what we're saying with all of our supplements, take the recommended serving size. If you want to explore other things, talk to your doctor, talk to your nutritionist. Sometimes you may be deficient in things, especially like omega-3 fatty acids, or we have a vitamin D product here. You may be deficient in vitamin D.
And most people are.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
A lot of people are, especially where we're from. Barlean's is from the Pacific Northwest. Vitamin D deficiency is something that a lot of us suffer in. But you don't necessarily just want to always start taking stuff without being able to get a baseline. Always talking to your doctor is a fantastic way to understand where you're at and understand which one of these supplements that you might want to be adding to your diet.
And I do know a little bit about vitamin D because back in the pandemic, they said that most people, if they wanted to really up their immune system, they needed to take more D, and that most people were low on D. And I didn't think I was, but I was.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And D is a great immune support. It's a wonderful way to be able to support your immune system. This product that we have here is our D3K2. D3K2 is wonderful. It actually helps support the bones as well.
And you should take D3 with K2, which most people don't know. I didn't know that before either. Till today I found out.
Correct. And one of the other cool things that I'll talk about here that most people don't know, if you don't have a gallbladder, and I know not a ton of people out there this might absorb to, if you don't have a gallbladder, these healthy fats here, these omega-3 fatty acids, your body is not going to be able to absorb them. This technology that we have, this emulsification technology, allows your body to bypass some of the ways that you would normally process these healthy fats, and you can absorb much more of them. These are 3 times more absorbable than if you're taking your standard average fish oil. I've done blood tests myself with my own blood taken from my company that I work for to be able to prove this out. I wanted to know for myself that this was actually true. I've had the tests done. It's fantastic. You really do absorb more of these healthy fats. And what a better way to do it in some way that tastes good too.
Exactly. Now, how can our audience get this?
Yeah, fantastic. Great question. We're available at Whole Foods. We're available at Sprouts. We're available at Vitamin Cottage. We're available at Publix. Nationwide. We're also available on Amazon.com, on Barleans.com as well. You can pretty much find us in all
anywhere
retailers. Yeah, anybody who has a nice, good natural space in there, a wellness set or something like that, you're going to find us there.
And if you're like me and you really don't want to take vitamins, you know you should, but just putting a vitamin in your, even if they're capsules, it's just like, this is really something that's going to make you want to take it because it tastes so good. And if the multis taste as good as the omegas, then it's a way to get you to really take the vitamins and omegas that you should take without feeling like, oh God, I have to do this. It's more like something you look forward to.
And you can use them in so many ways. Like you just saw me do, you can put them on a spoon. You can add them into your yogurt. You can mix it in with your smoothie. We have some people use this for topping on salad dressing even. I mean, the ways are basically endless. It's the idea is to make nutrition fun, to make nutrition tasty, to try to find ways that you can even get your kids to be able to take these products. Kids are notoriously picky. We have moms all the time reach out to us and say, my kid comes running and asking for it when I yell, hey, I have fish oil for you. And they'll come and, well, it's that good. I mean, it really is seriously delicious.
No, and on that note, I did try to put a regular fish oil into a smoothie, and I could still taste it.
Yeah.
But this, you can't, it actually enhances the smoothie.
Correct. No burnt backs either. That's the wonderful thing here. You won't get any burnt backs from these products. I know there's some products out there that say that. I use these every single day. I never have any fish burnt backs at all.
And I haven't either, and the flavors are so good. It's almost like you want to try the different ones. You still have key lime? Is this?
Yeah,
yeah.
Right there, lemon cream.
Yes.
We have a mango peach. We have an orange cream here. We have, this is one of our products that we released a little while ago. This is an algae product, a pink lemonade. This tastes like a pink Starburst. I'm not kidding. It really tastes like a pink Starburst. It is fantastic. And this is perfect. If you're a vegan or a vegetarian and you still want to be able to get EPA and DHA, which are the forms of omega-3 fatty acids you would usually get with fish oil, you can take this product. The algae in here creates EPA and DHA. It's already converted for you. So then you get a converted form that you're going to absorb 3 times more of. For vegans and vegetarians that can't use animal-based product, this is a really cool thing.
That's great. And look how easy it is to get it, because you can go into any reputable health food store or just order it on Amazon.com or just go right directly to barleys.com.
Yeah.
So BARLEAN''yes. Thank you so much for talking
Margie.
with us.
Fantastic.
It was great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Margie Rey. Of course, we're still here at the Natural Expo West, Natural Products Expo West, and I'm speaking with Jennifer, who is an educational scientist, which is amazing because it shows that she's not just another beautiful face. She really knows what she's talking about, and she's going to tell us about these 3 products that we picked out from all their other products, because they have a ton of products here at the Life Extension booth. But these are great products because it's great for immunity, and it's also great for staying young and getting young. And I know most of you that send comments, it's always about what can I do to look younger, feel younger, act younger, so that Jennifer's going to tell us.
Absolutely. So this is our biological aging defense, and obviously we know that the amount of years we've been on the planet, that's your chronological age. We can't do anything about that, but the biological aspect we can. So the idea is to reduce that. The problem is that we see it's actually the first time in history we're starting to see people not live as long as the generation before them.
Really? It's the first time in history?
Yeah, it's starting to, the amount of chronic disease is what we see, right? So what we've developed is a product. It has a scarlet bee balm extract, and really the way that it works is it's targeting DNA methylation age, that's a hallmark of aging, and then also telomere attrition. So another hallmark of aging. So it has some really cool preclinical studies that also target other hallmarks of aging, but in the clinical trials, it was a demonstrated benefit in telomere attrition and DNA methylation age, which is a huge marker of epigenetic aging.
Well, this sounds like an amazing product.
Yes, it's brand new, very exciting. Everybody's really excited about it. I finally just got mine, so we're all trying to stay as young as we can, right?
Right. And what I heard about telomeres, and correct me if I'm wrong because you would know better than I, but the thing is to try to get our telomeres as long as possible, right?
So part of that what ages us is those end caps, the telomeres, those end caps on the DNA start to kind of like fray and unravel, and that leads to a lot of dysfunction, accelerated aging, and that can eventually lead to disease progression as well. So what this helps to do is extend the length of those telomeres and stop the shortening, and then actually help to preserve the length.
That's great. So it's not just about looks, but it's about your whole system being younger.
Exactly. It's all of your organ systems, right? Like your liver, your kidneys. You didn't wake up this morning and say, like, my kidneys feel awesome, right? It's all the stuff that's happening on the internal level that we don't really necessarily think about. But all of these different organ systems and the different tissues, that's how they measure these epigenetic markers of aging to see how our organ systems and our tissues and cells are actually aging, and which direction is it heading is really the million-dollar question, right? And so hoping to make a dent in it that way.
Well, this is an amazing product. So this should be added, every day people take multivitamins and everything else. They need to take this every day to stay as young as possible.
Absolutely. Meant to be taken daily. So once a day supplement. So yeah, add it to your stack.
And you'll see the difference and feel the difference.
The clinical studies show that, as well as with DNA methylation age and obviously telomere attrition, you'll eventually see it. It wasn't necessarily studied to say on how you look. They're looking at the blood work, the labs and that kind of thing, right? But those all transition to better health, and when you're healthier, you look better.
Right. No, total fact. And now these two, this is a spray version of the capsule version. Tell us about that.
Okay, so bee propolis, it's made from the sticky, like waxy, resinous material on the beehive that protects the hive, right? So protects the bees in there. So they extract it, remove the wax, all the impurities and things like that, and what's left is the propolis. And it's a really beneficial flavonoid that provides a lot of immunity benefits. So we have it in two forms. The spray, and again, it's nothing necessarily. Bee propolis isn't new, it's been around for a while, but kind of what makes ours different is the two delivery systems. So the first one is a capsule form that's meant to be a little proactive, so meant to be taken daily, where the spray is more acute. So if you are feeling an acute challenge coming on, then you spray it, and so that's more short term. But both, they work very similar but different, but complement each other very, very well. So for me, in my role, I fly every other week. I'm always on a plane, right? So this is in 100% in my stack. Like, I'm always flying with this, right? I take this every day to help prevent things. But it does show, the clinical literature shows that it helps to reduce the duration and severity of symptoms. I think the clinical trial demonstrated 2 days less of symptoms in upper respiratory tract infection over a placebo. So if it was a 5 day experiencing symptoms for 5 days, it was 3 days with the propolis group over a placebo.
And when you're feeling sick, 2 days is a world of difference.
Yes. And one of the things that's really awesome about this is the amount of bee propolis in it. So it does use Manuka honey in it, but the amount of propolis, there's 690 milligrams. Most of the other ones you see are under 100.
Wow.
So
That's incredible. What a difference.
Extremely potent. Yeah, extremely potent. So
That's the Manuka honey that's in it. You know, as
Yeah,
you know,
it's
Manuka honey is very expensive because it's really good for you.
it is, yes. It's very sweet, but it does taste nice. But yes, the main aspect, so it does have the Manuka honey, but it's the propolis that's extracted from the hive. That's the active ingredients that's providing those immunity benefits.
Now, you did say that you can take this every day.
Yes.
There's no problem with that.
It's meant to be
So
taken daily.
that's wonderful. So every day you're actually, because let's face it, we don't know who we're going to encounter, even at the grocery store or anywhere
At a
else.
big convention.
Right, something like this on the plane, like you know, go on a regular basis. I used to be a flight attendant on a regular basis, but no matter what, even if you're just going for a jog, you just don't know who's going to pass you. And to keep your immune system strong, this is a great product.
Absolutely, yeah. These are brand new in our lineup. We're very excited about them. They've had really great reception, so we're excited to continue and continue the innovation. So we're always coming out with new products, and obviously longevity is very, very important to us. We know how important it is in the community, in the scientific community, in the health and wellness sphere. So that's something that we continue to aim for.
Okay, so how can our audience get this? Because, you know, I'm sold. I mean, what more can you ask for? This is going to make your body healthier, younger. I'm convinced if you're healthier and younger on the inside, you're going to look it on the outside. This is great to keep you, you know, your immune system strong. And if by chance you do end up with something, which does happen, this can actually fight it. So
Yeah,
2
I
days
always- I have
less.
people, you know, like the grandkids were over and things like that. You know, they're always getting sick from the kids, from school, or grandkids or whatever. So it's a really great option when you weren't expecting to be sick, just to have this around. But yeah, so they can find these at lifeextension.com. We are in Sprouts, we are in Vitamin Shop, we're in several, you know, retailers across the country. We do have a Amazon storefront, so we're everywhere.
Okay, so if they go to lifeextension.com, as you can see here, they can find out what stores have it, that they can walk in and get it.
There should be a store finder, but yes, but a lot of times, most of the stores, they decide which products they want to bring in. So it's not like they have every single product of ours. So they may have the product you're looking for, but if not, you still can get it from us on our website or on Amazon.
Perfect. So you can just go to lifeextension.com, get it on their website or Amazon, and so you don't even have to go to a store. And I really, 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 really highly recommend this because we actually were looking for products that can help lengthen the telomeres because I've done so much research on that. And this is the first place that I found years ago and again today that it's like, how do they not know that, you know, you really have to lengthen your telomeres? So now that you know that, now you know how to find a product that will lengthen the telomeres, because I really don't know of another one. Do you? Another place, not to promote somebody else, but
I know nothing.
Okay, so there you have it. Make sure you get this for youth and this, because if you're not healthy, well, what good does it do how young you look and feel? Okay, thank you so much, Jennifer. You're a doll, so knowledgeable. No wonder she is an educational scientist. I love that title. It's beautiful. So stay tuned as we hit, well, I guess we're only going to have maybe one or two other booths, but I'm glad that you're enjoying your time with us today at this Health Expo. It's amazing, but this is one of my favorite products. I tried so hard to find this. And there you have it. Now we're here at the Trace booth, and I am talking with Darren, and he is known as Dr.
Lightbulb.
Dr. Lightbulb. Now, we're going to show you why. This is so interesting. I am like blown away.
Yeah.
Okay, show me.
So here's what we're dealing with. Right now we're in the nutritional industry and we're talking about anti-aging or agelessness.
Right.
What I want to do is I want to define what the scientific definition of death is.
Right.
It's not when our heart stops beating, but when all that electrical impulse in the brain cease, right? Then they pronounce us dead.
Right.
Well, guess what? How do we feed it? How do we conduct it? And
Tell me.
how many times have we heard that statement coming from our parents? Eat your fruits and vegetables because they're good for you.
Right.
Well, guess what? They weren't lying. They knew what they were talking about. So if I take that positive negative charge and I put it into a banana, I get an electrical response. How about that green pepper? How about the tomato? That potato? Oops. And how about that orange?
Okay, so why isn't the orange lit up?
Interesting, right? Here we are in California, but oftentimes we don't look at the origin. Where's it coming from?
Right.
We assume that we're in California. It's going to be California or Florida. How about South Africa? So here's the question. We're only as healthy as our soil is fertile, right? If we don't know where our food's coming from, we definitely don't know where it's grown. That's where it comes back to that foundational piece that we all have to, bring that nutritional balance back to ourselves.
Right.
Now, the way that we do that is that I love to take that same concept, and here's just water. If you would for me, my dear, will you give me one drop right there in that cup? One drop. Nope, that's good. Yep, go ahead and just give me one drop right there in that cup.
Oh. Whoa. Wait a minute.
Was that anything?
Just plain water.
That was just plain water.
And I just put in
And you just put the trace minerals back into that. Well, guess what? We don't have to be an athlete to lose electrolytes. We lose about 2.5 to 3 cups of body fluid a day just through respiration, perspiration, urination, and defecation. So, with that being said, now we have to put that balance back.
And most people don't.
Exactly. Most people, of course, were eating, foods that are very processed or
foods that we think are healthy, like this orange, and because of the soil that it was grown in, it's not doing us any good.
Let's make sure that we're protecting our balance. Keep eating our fruits and vegetables by all means.
Right.
But now we have to go back to the basics. And that's where supplementing with these ionic trace minerals every day gives us that ability to put that balance back.
So what you were saying is earlier when you said, at the end of our life, it's basically when this stops.
Right. It's not when the heart stops, but when all that electrical impulse stops.
Right.
So we are nothing but a very sophisticated machine ran off electrical impulse.
So if we take this, will that keep this from just shutting off?
What this will do is, of course, put that balance back as far as everything that we're based on is balance. And it comes down to those minerals that we find should have found on our kitchen table. But if it's not on the kitchen table, this is what makes me nervous. If it's not in the soil and it's not in our water, guess what? It's not in our body. If it's not in our body, we call that deficiency. If we
take this, though, we'll put it back in our body even if it wasn't in our soil.
Correct. So that's the point. That's why we're supplementing. Now let's follow that through. If we don't resolve that deficiency, that becomes dysfunction. But we as a society, we don't move until it becomes a dis-ease. And that's when we're motivated, right?
By then it could be too late.
But it's all in our power. That's why we're here. We're educating on the purpose of how do we supplement back our health and bring it back to the kitchen table.
Now, how can our audience get this?
So you can go to your local health food store or online, but the brand is Trace Minerals, and yet at the same time, I think the best part of this is that this does not replace anything that we're already doing. But by putting it back in, it helps activate, regulate, and assimilate our other nutrients, and more importantly, conduct that energy. So when we're feeling like we're just a little off, it might be that foundational piece. It all comes back to foundation.
Is this something they should take every day?
Fantastic question. So my question back to you would be, when's the last time you quit breathing since you left your mother's womb? And the answer is never, right? So just like with our food or our water, we have to put it back in, and by doing so, we get to take control.
So the answer to my question is yes, every day.
Every day. And again, there's another key piece. Again, we don't have to be an athlete to lose our electrolytes, right? Through respiration, perspiration, urination, and defecation, we're losing them every day. We have to put it back. And you can put this into water, soups, teas, protein shakes, smoothies, whatever you enjoy. You know the concept, the apple a day that kept the doctor away?
Right.
It's not what the apple tasted like, it's what the apple offered. This brings the offering back, and we shouldn't be able to taste it.
And can you just have it straight?
I wouldn't do it straight, very strong,
But if we dilute it properly, we should never know it's there, and that's
So half a glass of water?
half a glass or in your glass of water. And like I said, it can go into soups and teas and protein juices, whatever you enjoy.
So soup, it doesn't matter if it's heated.
So after the heating process would be the best, but again, putting it back is the important thing.
That's wonderful. So there you go. This is something you should definitely add to your diet. Don't forget, Trace Mineral Drops from the company Trace. Can't be any easier to remember. Awesome, thank you. Now we're here at the Boron booth, and I am with the CEO, Janique, who is going to tell us a lot about the products, and also with Crystal, which is the Director of Sales, and she's going to tell us about other products. So tell us about the products. They're for babies, and let's face it, more and more people are having babies, and they need to know how to take care of them.
And a lot of the natural mamas are looking for solutions for teething, for bed, for sleep, and for tummy upset. And we've got an excellent line of baby products. Camellia, we're just launching Camellia Bedtime. Moms love the single unit dose. It's very unique, very convenient, but even for mothers, we have other products. It's a wonderful family of products, and we have Arnicare for not only kids, but for moms, dads, anyone that has pain. They want natural pain relief, and we've got excellent topicals in the Arnicare line. And I believe Janique is holding our Arnicare arthritis. He's holding our Arnicare arthritis product. We also have it for bruise gel, cream, for many applications in natural pain relief. But our flagship product, we'll let Janique talk about.
Absolutely. Thank you, Crystal. So we have always something new, but before we talk about new product, this year we had an amazing record year with oscillococcium. So many people discovered it.
A record year.
A record year.
Wow. For people finally discovering this product that's been out for so many years.
The flu incidence was so high, the word of mouth was so high, and people discover and really realize they have a solution for flu-like symptoms that is safe, and they can have at home, they can share with their family, and they can find it anywhere in the US.
And this stuff really works.
Use it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's amazing. You travel.
I was sick within 8
Yeah.
hours, and when 1 hour
That's why.
went away,
Exactly. It will really help you with all the symptoms of the flu. And even when you have extreme fatigue, this is the product that you need to carry. You need to have it in your house. So
Sometimes it, like the producer of our show, he used it and it didn't seem like it would made any sense, but within hours he felt so much better. It's almost, I mean, no product works like that, which is no natural product. But let's face it, there are a lot of products on the market, but they're not natural, and they can actually cause more harm than good.
Correct, and they are not necessarily very efficacious. This product has been proven. We have clinical study with that. And this year also was a very interesting year. It was flu-like symptoms and cold. And we find out a lot of people discover how finally our cold calm. Another homeopathic product that is very safe for the whole family. And all the sneezing effect, and when people don't feel too good, they can be complementary. So for the cough and cold and flu. But I want to highlight something for you. We have something special to show you.
Oh, okay.
So this year will be a great year for Arnica or Arnicare, like Crystal said. The FIFA is coming in the US, the FIFA World Cup, and a lot of athletes use Arnica and Arnicare for them, for their muscle to be in great shape. And we plan to do a lot of advertisement wherever the major like soccer game of the World Cup are happening. We'll do a lot of like either advertising, sample for the player, for the people that are following the World Cup. And also this year, this is new, and I know we are launching a new product. It's a brand new product made of Arnica and Arpagophytum, also known as the devil claw. Very efficient product for joint pain, arthritis. So here we want to take care of our senior. We want them to be like to age with grace. And this product is about, it's almost like it's a cream gel. We call it like a lotion that absorbs very quickly, very pleasantly, with very minimum. There's no side effect. And I think for the people that have like constant pain on their hip, joint, that would be a true natural solution.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because obviously you know a lot more about this than I do, but from my understanding, it doesn't just cover up pain, but it actually really helps to get rid of the pain.
Correct. It's not a band-aid. It's really attacking at the root cause. It is a curative one. Exactly.
Where most of the other products that are out there, they're great to cover up the pain, and then as soon as it wears off, your pain's back. But this actually, I thought I was imagining things, but it really actually kind of makes it go away.
Exactly. And you can see we have a line. We have the cream, the pump, we have tablets, so they complement each other. So I do believe this is about to become a big line of products for us. So you have no reason to age with pain, with joint and arthritis. My mom used that all the time. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you so much. Now, how do our audience get a hold of this? Because now they're sold, now they want it.
As you know, we are a national brand. So here we are at the National Expo West. So the Sprout of the world, the Vitamin Shop, the Whole Food carries some. And also we are distributed at Walmart, Amazon, CVS, Walgreens, so pretty much everywhere. And we have a lot of doctors that recommend that. So go and see the natural holistic doctor that carry that.
And you can also go to boiron.com to find out what store carries it.
BoironUSA.com. BoironUSA.com.
And you order it right there on the website?
We're at your service, exactly. Thank you so much for reminding.
And that's BOIRON, correct?
Yes.
USA.com, exactly.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us. This was our final booth, our favorite booth. Oh, I shouldn't say that. But it really is a great booth. We've been here for years, and the products really do work. We're not just saying that. It is pretty extraordinary how you can have a cold, and most people, it lasts forever with the flu, and then this product, you take it, if you take it right on time and consistently, then it just seems like it disappears. It doesn't seem to make sense, but it's a fact.
It's a fact, it's proven, and this product has been for so long on the market. We have such a loyalty. People check out all those reviews that people are talking. The pharmacists are recommending this product. The doctor are recommending this product all the time.
Yeah, the second you feel a symptom, just take it. Exactly. I mean, it's not going to hurt you if it turns out you're wrong and you didn't have the flu, but if it turns out you're right, you just knocked it out.
I like your passion about the oscillococcinum. Thank you so much.
Because it works. There are a lot of products out there that unfortunately, the advertising's great, but they don't really work. This really works.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you. And thank you, thank you. And thank you. Thank you for joining us. It was a great time here at the Health Expo. It's one of the biggest expos in the United States, if not, maybe even in the world. I don't know. Do you guys know?
I don't.
No, but at least in the United States, this is one of the biggest expos. It is exhausting to go through it, but we did learn a lot of good information, got a lot lot of great products. And now, yes, and now I can put some of this gel on, and I'll feel fine. Otherwise, I won't make it to the car.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a very good point.
But that's a long answer first.
No, it's a perfect answer. It's
Entertainment and sports today.
Fabulous.